Hi everyone, I'm Stella. I'm a health and fitness coach for women in menopause, and I am the host of this Inspire show. And as you know, I always have guests who can inspire you in some way. Today, I have here Michelle. Uh, she's a naturopathic and anti-aging consultant. Is it correct? Hi.
Yes, how are you, Stella? Thank you so much. This is going to be exciting.
Yes, I think it will be. Um, Michelle, welcome to my podcast. And can you start by sharing a bit about yourself, about your hair journey?
Yes, definitely. I like when I messaged you, I said it's not a pretty story, but it has a happy ending. Yeah,
That's
so
important.
right. It could have been a very different ending, but I was a recruiter, a high volume recruiter for 28 years, which basically meant that I would do a contract, hire 500 people for a company, and then I would have downtime in between assignments. And it really never got to me until 2002. I just had a funk. I was in a funk. I started hanging with the wrong people, doing the wrong things, eating from a drive-up window every single meal, and just not taking care of my body. And
Uh-huh.
I deteriorated slowly and to a point where I thought I had cracked a rib because I had fallen down some stairs, and I was like, oh, I must have cracked a rib. So I wrapped an ace bandage around my ribs nice and tight, and I didn't have a broken rib. I had pneumonia. So wrapping my ribs really tight caused my lungs to fill up that much faster. So yes, I was 42 at that time. Actually, I was just turning 42. Um, so I didn't think anything of it. I wasn't, overly concerned. I figured it was just the pain of a cracked rib. But then I started getting like really off, and my family started to notice that um, we know now that oxygen was not going to my brain. so so they took me to the hospital, and the hospital immediately put me into a medically induced coma that I stayed in for 3 weeks. They told my
Mhm.
family that they did not think I was going to live, and if I did, I would be a vegetable for the rest of my life. So I'm here to
Hmm.
prove that's wrong. I am not a vegetable. Memory is not as good as it used to be, but that could be 65 also. I don't know. So yeah, so it was a long road to recovery. And that's where I learned so much about living your best life, doing the best things for your body. Um, and just I did a lot of education, a lot of courses, a lot of certifications, and I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did because it would have been easy to come out of the hospital and get back in the same old rut of things with the same old people, but you need to be intentional about changing the path that you're on if you expect anything to change. Yeah.
If you want changes, you have to make changes. Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And when you decided that you want to work uh, like somebody who help others, because in the beginning you just what was that moment when you decided to you will do this?
Yeah, well, honestly, COVID shut down my other business. And I was like, okay, what do I have in my toolbox that I can do something with? And I had been living this lifestyle for 17 years at that time. So I was like, okay, during COVID, I got certified in naturopathic wellness and decided that I would focus on people in the demographic that I live, over 40, well over 40 for me. But yeah, so I started helping women to make some better choices. And then I fell upon the ability to analyze their blood work. And that has been magic because Our blood gives us a perfect roadmap before symptoms start to manifest, while they're still treatable, and you don't even know that you have some of those challenges because they haven't manifested in symptoms in your body yet. So that's been a lot of fun and so rewarding to be able to help women to identify what's going on in their veins before they get sick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what are you checking in the blood?
Well, there are 35 different tests that I can run. So it really depends on what their doctors ran already, what their doctors will run, and then we just fill in the gaps. Here in the United States, most doctors will not run a full hormone panel on a woman who's perimenopausal or even menopausal. They just won't run them. So typically I'm doing a full hormone panel and a full thyroid panel, which they go hand in hand to give me kind of the roadmap on what's going on with that individual woman. Yeah.
Yes, because when perimenopause starts, then we can have a bunch of problems.
Right,
Yes,
exactly.
and I was thinking when I was changed my lifestyle when I was 47, and then I started, and I thought before that I live a healthy lifestyle, but it wasn't when I started to learn things. But I thought, no, it's not the no, I wasn't have a good lifestyle. So yes, sometimes it's depend on what we know, because
Right,
our
right.
knowledge is not enough. Because when I
Yes.
thought that something is healthy, and and it was it was just a misconception. No, it's not healthy, and I was eating it like a healthy thing, you know.
Yes. And it's funny because I mean, we're not educated. Even when we were teenagers and we were coming into, our, having our menstrual cycle, we're not really that well educated. I don't normally run men's blood work, but a friend of mine had his blood work. I told him I would take a look at it for him. And do you know they run hormone panels on men? That was the first I knew of it. I was like,
No.
he got a full hormone panel and women don't. I
Uh-huh.
thought that was shocking. That just happened yesterday, so I'm still a little gun shocked. I'm like, yeah, yep, he had his hormones. And he's not someone who would know enough to ask for them. So his doctor just automatically ran hormones on him.
And not
Good
for
to
us.
know. Yeah, right, exactly. We're the ones that go through menopause. Yes, and our families tell us we're crazy, we're cranky. Yeah.
What it means, naturopathy
Um,
consultant.
Basically taking a more natural approach to everything. I don't even take an Advil. Anything that if I have it, I don't really get headaches either. So I can't say if I get a headache, this is what I do, because I haven't had a headache since I got well. Yes. So it's really just taking a more natural, holistic approach to wellness. Yeah.
And with food or with scented oils
Depends.
or something else.
All of that. Grounding, getting your feet on the bare earth. And I live in New England. It's cold here right now. It's like 20. And I'm not going outside barefooted. So I have a grounding mat under my desk at all times. When I'm working, I'm grounding, and I have a grounding mat on my bed so that when I'm sleeping, I'm grounding. And that's just scientifically proven, because we're positively charged and the earth is negatively charged. So it allows us to, like, almost like Zen and, dump that positively charged energy into the ground and balance out. And I've noticed a huge difference in my temperament, my stress levels, and all that, just by grounding. Yeah, hydration, herbal supplements. I have someone on my team who is a master herbalist, so we incorporate that as well. Um, Yeah, not eating from a drive-out window, not drinking soda, like things that we can do very easily if we choose to.
If we choose to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm in one group, some menopause, something like that is the name of the group. And I saw that women feel very bad and they can't sleep and they had anxiety and what pressures and everything, and they feel they don't worth anything. And when I start when I try to tell them that lifestyle change, movements, and you can change it. You don't have to eat anything, any magic pills or something like that.
Right.
But they don't care. They just want magic pills, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't understand. They want to feel better, but they don't do anything for that. They just want pills,
Right.
you know.
Right. We've been sold to think that their number one is a magic pill. There's not. And that it can be easy. You don't have to work at it. You don't have to try. You can just take this pill and you'll be great. And it's not true. Not true. And
Yeah.
I'm on a mission to try to help the women who are curious and want to know more. It's like this magic pill isn't working so well. Talk to me. I'm like, okay. Let's talk. Yes. Yeah. It's
Yeah, and I
unfortunate.
always said that whole foods are one of the most important thing, because we can eat everything what we need if we know what we eat. Yeah, if we designing our meals consciously. If
Yes.
we know we need more magnesium, then we eat more nuts or
Yes.
leafy greens or something. But
Yeah.
it need knowledge.
Right. Right.
We have to know. That's why I also wrote a book about my program, and trying to educate women how to
Yes.
eat and
Yeah.
what our body needs.
Yes. And I love your videos where you don't just take exercise to the gym, you take it out in nature, which is amazing.
When
That
it's
adds a
good
whole
weather,
new
or
level. Yeah.
that's it. I doing work because I was made all the mistakes like in the beginning. How to start to run, but running is causing it produces cortisol, so it's not good,
Yeah,
for
no,
weight
no.
loss. So then I was going to gym, but then COVID came, and I couldn't go to the gym. But it was actually it's good because I now I know what is good for me, and what can be good for women in menopause, because um, I try to do very effective workouts that they can do it in 10 or 17 minutes. Usually in my program are 70-minute workouts, but we can do very effectively. We don't need to go anywhere. We can do it in the kitchen, in the living room, outside, in the park, anywhere. If we are traveling, we can do it in our hotel room,
Right.
apartment, on a beach. I
Yeah.
have videos on a beach also. So anywhere we can do it anywhere. So it's not a excuse that we don't have something. We don't have a gym near, or we don't have equipment. We don't need it.
Right. Right. Exactly. That goes along with that magic pill. I don't have a gym near me and I need a magic pill.
Yeah, and it's so
Crazy.
good to be outside in the nature, in the park, and or in
Yes.
just in my garden, anywhere. Or if it's it's snowing, I also going out and doing workouts. So I love it.
Really? Wow. You're better than me. I don't love the snow.
I love, but we don't have it. Very rare.
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. Yeah, and I'm so glad that there are more people like us in the world getting out and making that attempt to educate women who are in our demographic that just don't know. If you know better, you do better.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they have to be open for it, because if
Right.
somebody don't want really inside, if she really don't want to change, don't want to uh, develop themselves,
Yeah.
because it's also a mindset, not just um, accepting what others says or our doctor says, because our doctors even doesn't know what is good for us.
No, no. And they don't take the time to even examine the blood work. I know here in the States, we have very wide reference ranges for labs, and the reference ranges I use are very, very tight, so that we can, and I find that that opens women's eyes pretty quickly when they're like, what? What, my body's doing what? My blood told you what? It's your blood. I didn't make it up. And I'll show them right in my system. It's like, look, this is what the root causes are, that if you don't address them now, they're going to be a challenge in the future. So that's helpful to have that knowledge that it's not coming from me, it's coming from their blood, right?
Mhm.
It's like, you're the only one with that blood. And this is what it's telling us. And we can either nip it in the bud and give you a long, healthy life, or you can keep going the way you're going, and you're going to start to have symptoms that you're not going to be happy about. Yeah.
Yes, and sometimes it's these chronic diseases or these problems. It's
Mhm.
not coming from yesterday. We
Right,
are doing things decades, and that's why we have later chronic diseases,
right,
not just because what I did yesterday.
right. Exactly, exactly. That is so true, so true. And also the pH of the body. Disease cannot survive and thrive in an alkaline environment. It needs that acidic nature, that sugar and the acidic nature to really thrive. And cancer grows very comfortably in an acidic environment. So,
Hmm.
just keeping yourself in that pH balance is important. And that's not hard to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And very, very often here women have insulin resistance.
Hmm.
Can you see it from the
Yes.
blood test
Yes.
in the beginning? If let's say they don't know yet, but from the blood you can see it.
Hmm. Yes. Yeah. It's just a different combination. And I work with 3 nurses. One of them used to be a nurse. She's now going to school to be a functional medical doctor. And she's a master herbalist. So I work with some really skilled ladies
Mhm.
to be able to really analyze that blood work at a deeper level and give solutions to people. It could be something as simple as dandelion root. I mean, if somebody, there's your magic pill, right? But for a certain person who needs dandelion root, that could be their magic pill. It doesn't have to be in the form of a pharmaceutical.
Yes.
Yeah,
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 herbals are good. We can help our body to
right.
regain health.
Yes, yes. We just have to repackage the magic pill
Yes.
and make it look like exercise and grounding and hydrating.
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
What are the most common challenges your clients face, and how do you help them to overcome these?
Well, honestly, because we're starting with the blood, every human is different. Their blood is telling me different things that you would never know from an intake form, because they don't even know they have those challenges yet. Like I analyzed somebody's blood who her stomach acid is so depleted, and she's an extreme athlete. So she's eating protein and whatever. Her stomach is not digesting the protein before it
Mhm.
passes it through, and now her kidney and liver are being taxed unnecessarily with undigested protein. So every person is different, based on what their blood tells me. That's why I start with the blood, instead of just taking a generic approach and say, answer all these questions for me and I'll give you a plan. It's like, let's see what your roadmap tells me and where it tells me to go, you know? And, you know, a lot of times, especially when you identify a healthy person that has some challenges going on, there can be some pushback because it's like, no, wait a minute, I feel fine. There's no way that that can be going on. But, you know, they, you know, in time, they kind of, you know, look at, you know, the things that I told them would be happening and they start to happen and they're like, oh no. Yeah. So yeah, honestly, every person is different. And I used to only do an intake form and based on their answers, you know, give them a solution. But I honestly was looking for a way to differentiate my services from, you know, from other people. And I found this software that analyzes their blood work. And even if it's just what the doctor orders for them, that's fine. We'll start there. And then I can show them, it's like, look, we really probably want to do, instead of just this one thing on your thyroid, let's do the whole thyroid panel, you know, so that then we can order. I'm able to order the blood work for them that they need, which is a huge benefit. Yeah. So it didn't really answer your question, but you know, hopefully I explained why, because everybody's blood work is, I haven't seen two lab results exactly the same. So it's, and it makes it really interesting for me as well, because every person is a new opportunity to, you know, identify some challenges that she doesn't know she has yet. Yeah. Yeah.
And I see if I had a guest who changed her lifestyle at her 30s. Now she's 50 something, almost 60, and she didn't have these menopause or symptoms because she started her healthy lifestyle very early in the when she was 30. So
good.
I think if we wouldn't eat so much carbohydrates or gluten and sugar and these things and sodas, wouldn't drink, and we would move like she changed it, then we maybe wouldn't had these symptoms.
Right. I agree 100%. I never had a hot flash or a night sweat. I don't even know what it feels like. Yeah, because I changed my lifestyle, you know, early enough that I don't even know what a hot flash feels like. And
I
I'm on
know.
the other side of it, so
I know
yeah.
it was horrible for me, but I find a way. I changed my lifestyle and I started to.
Yeah.
I also trying to solve everything with natural
Yeah.
things, with foods,
Yeah.
and I use royal jelly for my hot flashes.
Perfect.
And it's really works for me. So it
Good.
was
So
worked for
good.
me. I don't have now. So and I trying to avoid everything what is causing inflammation.
Yes, yes. Yeah, inflammation is huge and people don't realize. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and stress. I think stress is
Yes.
the
Yeah. Yeah.
if
Definitely.
somebody
So
eating
everybody needs a grounding
healthy
mat.
and if somebody eating healthy and move and doing some workouts or but if she is stressed, she can make inflammation in her body also,
Yeah, yeah,
making problems.
definitely. And I love that your workout is only 17 minutes. That's fantastic. There's no
I have
excuses in
shorter.
that. Wow. There's no
I have also
excuses in that,
shorter
right?
because
Yeah.
there are workouts which are very effective and very hard, but it's not hard for us to do it, but it's hard for our body, you know. It's not a complicated
Yeah.
movement, but it's hard for our body, and it's sometimes enough 2 minutes to feel like I was workout 20 minutes.
That's so
Yeah, and
great. Now,
I
how did you end up doing the work you're doing?
Sorry?
How did you end up doing the work that you're doing?
It was when COVID came and I started to find out what is good for me.
Yeah.
Then I asked my girlfriend asked how do you do it, and I started to put out my workouts, and I started to learn more and making courses and listening like to the doctors, functional
Yeah.
doctors,
Yeah.
and I still listening them and always listening for what is new. And then I thought I can coach women to,
So
because
good.
I feel so good in my body now. I am in best shape in my life, and I wanted to. I would like to other women to feel like me in their
Yes.
50s, because
Yeah.
really I'm going now to pole fitness, you know. I
Right.
couldn't imagine that I would do these shapes. It's very feminine and it's look good, very good, and I stronger every day, you know. And
Yes. Yeah, that's so good. So good. I feel like our generation has a lot to offer. We really do. We're resilient. We've been through some stuff, and I think we have a lot to offer. Even the younger women than us, like you said, in the 30s and 40s, you have a friend who changed her lifestyle in her 30s and, skated through menopause like it was nothing. So yeah, I feel like our demographic has a lot to offer the world.
yes, and we can. I would like to change the narratives about women, how they look and how they feel, and in their 60s, 70s. Because
Yeah,
if we if we change our lifestyle, we can look in our 70s like before in their 50s.
right,
It just
right.
depends on us. We don't. We just have to believe in it and do it.
And do it.
Yes.
That's the key. You've got to do it.
Yes, but it feels maybe in the beginning it was like, oh, I have to do it, but for my body. But now when it's become a habit, and if it's
Yeah,
something, it's become a habit. It's like I move every day, like I wash my teeth every day,
right.
and
Yes,
it's essential. So
right.
I
That's a
need
great
it.
analogy because you would never go without brushing your teeth ever for a day. And I feel the same way about exercise, like you do. It's like it's just part of my day. I got to move my body. Yeah.
Yes, it's our body
Yeah.
need it. Our muscles need it, because we if we don't use them, we
Mm,
will be weaker and weaker.
yeah.
And I want to be strong in my 70s also.
Yes, definitely. And beyond. My great grandmother lived to be 104. And one night she went to bed and she didn't wake up the next day. And she wasn't on any medication at all. That's
Wow,
my
it's
plan.
great. Yeah, mine
That's my
too.
plan. That's
Yes.
good. That's good.
Uh,
Perfect.
do do you have some um, advice for my listener? Let's say something like 3 tips or something about health, about
Yeah. I mean, I actually
you.
have a list of 13 things that you can do for free to improve your health. Things like hydrating, grounding, cold plunging. Do you cold plunge?
Yes.
You do. Oh, you're
No,
so
no,
better
no,
than me.
not much. I'm just trying, but
Yes, yeah.
trying.
I know how healthy it is. So, I've
I
got to get
know.
my head around that. Yeah, yeah. So, there's so many natural things that we can do that will help us so much. And, drinking twice our body weight in water, I like to squeeze a lemon in the water for the added benefit. Having my grounding mat at my feet every day has made a huge difference in my whole, I used to be uptight, not uptight anymore. Yes, don't go through the drive up window. That's not food. It's plastic. It's not meant for the body. Don't eat it. from someone who used to do it 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Don't do it. It's not good. Washing our veggies, even if they're organic, I still wash them with an organic veggie wash to make sure that anything, I mean, people are touching our vegetables. It's like, I want them nice and clean. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you would like me to, I can certainly offer, it's called a wellness starter kit. And it just kind of has a list of the 13 things to do for free. It has a list of acidifying versus alkalizing foods to put into your body, and just some real basic things. I'm happy to share that with your audience if they would be interested.
Okay.
Yeah, happy to.
Yeah,
Happy to do
I
that.
will put the link down.
Yeah. All right. Sounds good. It was so good to meet you, Stella.
Nice to meet you.
Yes, halfway across the world, but have fun.
Yes. We are so away from.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was a
Thank you.
pleasure. You
My
bet.
pleasure. So, thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Bye-bye.